themselves. On the other hand, in terms of DMT, they still have plenty of options for the marksman, which we know that is going to be an important role for them. DMT today, they've already played the Arlie, they've already played the Erin, the Lung, they've already played the Flowborn marksman. They still have the channel available for them.
Yeah, that is actually a very big point, right? I'm curious to see what kind of farm lane a DMT will put in their hands for this time. Boom Esports, you know what they're going for. The last tank available for the roam, that's never going to see the light of day, especially in this last game. So Boom Esports take out not just the Lapu Lapu, they take out the Haya as well. Now, Dominator Esports, DMT, I think they understand that, hey, Carl's pay is also something they need to be really careful about. So that's going to be banned out along with the Zhang Fei the Beast.
Luna available. They have been waiting. They're gonna just call it for themselves. So if they take the Luna right over here, then what option does Dominator Esports takes on the other side? They've already banned the pay, so they do not have an option in there for strong jungler. And it's gonna have to be that. Just understanding that this is gonna have to be the flow for today, and it's gonna have to be the Ogre.
Yes, because if we take a look at the entire ban pick history, the big counters against Luna, not too available for the side of Dominator Esports, right? They don't have the pay, they don't have the Ukyo Tachibana, they don't have the Jing as well. So these are all great answers towards the Moonblade Luna. So Dominator have to make do with the Ogre here.
Well, Liang is gonna have to just do in terms of countering that Luna. Just trying to use his ultimate just to hold it in there, trying to find the Luna. The problem is that having the Lung in there, having the Nuwa late game, that's going to be a lot of damage that Dominator Esports is going to have to tank with just a support roamer like this, like a utility roamer like Liang.
Yes, and one of the things is, you know, even as they hit level 4, even if Tatsui doesn't have the damage, it's going to be a big problem for the Liang, because that first skill by Celestial, the Nuwa, will be able to stop the ultimate from the Liang pick. Lung also, with the Ride the Wind, able to get the pushback, cancels ultimates as well. So DMT, this roam position for L, for the Liang, is going to be in a tight spot here.
A very difficult one. Because he's gonna need a lot of the reinforcements coming in from his teammates. It's not gonna be that easy for everyone just to count on just L just being there to save the day. So everyone's gonna have to shoulder a little bit of that pressure. Second round of bans is going to be locked in right now. The Dharma and the Liempo from Dominator Esports, the Lady Sun and the Mayin from Boom Esports. We have not even seen the Lady Sun being on the bans or picked in list today. First time that we see the Lady Sun.
Yes, and it's a great answer, right? Because you don't want to deal against a Lady Sun who has a lot of damage. Lung can be 3-shotted by a fully farmed Lady Sun, and we get the special picks coming out. Do we really get the Zhonghui here, the Void Caller? This is one of my personal favorites as well. They do lock it in. And with that, the Lupu comes in. So you can tank, but how long and how much can you tank when there's a Lupu on hand?
Lupu and Quay. Now we're talking about Boom Esports is going to be pushing for the late game. They do not have an advantage for the early game right now. We don't see right now how Boom Esports can shoulder the damage in there in the first 6 minutes of the game, we could say. On the other side, Dominator Esports answered back with the Byron and the Fan. I sincerely believe that as the time passes in this game, Boom Esports is going to start growing more and more and more and more.
Yes, and look, late game Lupu, late game Nua, late game Long, I don't think you have a lot of fun with them. Dominator Esports needs to win this game within the first 15 minutes or this game is over.
There's no answer after the 15-minute mark. After the 15-minute mark, there is no answer coming in from them. The only hero that could actually shoulder in some damage is going to be the Byron. But when you have the Lupu, when you have the Long coming in and dealing so much damage in that moment, one Byron might not be the answer.
That's true. I mean, at this point, I'm curious whether they will go for the damage-based Ogren or are they going for the tank Ogren? Because I feel like they might not have enough tankiness on the side of Dominator, but at the same time, if the Fang is taken out of the fights early, you have no damage.
Yeah, exactly. No, and the problem is this, right? Like, if you have the Fang against the Lung, it's not a fair trade in there. It's not gonna be an easy laning stage for Fang. It's gonna be really hard right now for CC to be able to take an advantage with Danny, and at the same time, having the Quay always around there is going to slow down CC a lot. It's not gonna be an easy game for him.
The moment you get hooked, yeah, you have to use a flash. You have to use your flash, or you have to use your wheel away as a private ear Fang, and that is going to be very costly. So one of the difficult situations that can present itself is, you know what? How accurate is Draw's hook here?
that is the one question that never changes. That is as old as time. Anytime that we see a Quay player, the first question we ask is like, how accurate can he be? Quay is a very interesting hero, but can he actually get the job done? Invasion coming in from Dominator.
Nice pushback. This is going to save the members on the side of Boom Esports from giving their life away. But in exchange, TNX gets the buff. Crimson buff in his hands, free reign, instant access back into this Azure Golem as well. So a beautiful start for the side of DMT.
Beautiful start. That's exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like when you have the tankiness that an Ogren can give you. Now you need to be doing this kind of moves. You need to be a lot more aggressive, and you need to just start denying a little bit more. Carl right now, without that Crimson buff, it's not going to be very painful for him, but the problem is that the gold that he's going to be missing, he's gonna need it very soon.
Yeah, it's going to be a big difference maker, right? And the fact that, look, Joel is actually in a position to make sure that he holds the wave so that TNX can get the gold sharing and EXP sharing as well. So beautiful teamwork from the side of DMT to make sure they get maximum value out of every single wave.
Look at this. One more time, we can move over our eyes to see CC just being targeted one more time by Danny. That matchup in there is extremely unfair for CC. Sadly for him, he's been having such a great day. I don't know how he's going to turn things around in here if he does not have any support coming in.
I mean, this really puts a lot of pressure on the supports for both teams, right? If Draw gets a hook, then essentially that's going to be a great opening for the farm laner for the side of Danny here. But that's not going to be the case for the time being, because Boom's message now is they want to get more pressure on the jungle instead. Hook not going to land on the side of Draw, and this is going to be potential freebie Crimson buff for the side of TNX.
Oh, I don't think about that. Look at that. There's a lot of members from the blue team, Boom Esports, still here, and it's going to be stolen by TNX finally. Just the smite, very on time.
Yeah, very clear understanding of what they need to do. DMT, this is a very dominant performance, and right now they have good control. They have about 1,000 gold in advantage, and here's the beautiful part. DMT, right now Tufts is actually holding the Crimson buff for his jungle.
That is actually a very good. A very good advantage for them, right? Because if CC can just kind of like try to share some resources, we know that CC is gonna have to carry later on. So if CC can start just getting some resources from TNX, that's actually gonna be beneficial for them. They do not want to gank up over here on Danny. They decide to make the rotation to the mid lane better.
Okay, they do get the hook. Can they get the true damage? The denial by TNX here and the potential turnaround here with the ultimate tremble mortals as DMT will be pushed to the brink of death. Elbow survive for the time being, but it's going to be first blood. Tatsuri, the savior for the side of Boom Esports, and they have completely turned this around. DMT falter and Boom stay ahead.
Double kill.
L just comes in with the ultimate very early, and into whom? Into a Lupu, and that Lupu answered back with his ulti, and it was a done deal after that. A 3-1 trade for Boom Esports, and that mid lane turret is going to fall. Boom Esports takes control of what Dominator looked like. A pretty balanced game.
Dude, this one. When it rains, it pours truly. Boom Esports, they get the kills, they get the T1 turrets. And this is now a big swing. This is not a 1,000 gold lead for Boom. They took 2,000 gold in advantage to swing this back.
Oh man, I'm telling you. In the moment that I was actually thinking that Dominator Esports was actually having a very good opening of the game, these little mistakes just turn things around for Boom one more time. The PKL representatives, they see the opening, they see the opportunity, and they say, thank you. If you want to give me something for free, I'll take it for sure.
And now you get to see the power spike of Kao. He's level 9 against the level 7s, level 6s. Who cares? Because when Kao gets his hands on you, you know you are done.
Blue team has destroyed a tower.
As long as Carl's got the blue buff, right? As long as Carl's got the blue buff, as long as he can have control of that Azure Golem, it is going to be fine for him because of the CD reduction that he's gonna have. He'll be able to fly around so much.
Yep, he definitely will. And it's going to be complemented because they have a lot of crowd control as well. And the biggest difference maker is that there is true damage draw, tries to go for the hook, unable to find that latch at this point. So DMT, they will walk away safely.
6 minutes already of this game number 5. We can already start seeing from the itemization, the Venomous Staff coming in from the new is going to be the first item, and that's going to be very lethal since then in this moment Nuwa does not have that much of damage, but being able just to utilize that item in order to slow down that DMT is going to be important.
Red team has destroyed
The
a
anti-hero
tower.
against TNX is going to be very effective, right? And bear in mind
Yeah,
that
of course.
because Miggy, every time he gets that first skill slash down, once the trust happens, DMT now will face a even bigger problem because it's every first skill landed by Miggy is going to hurt more and more.
A monster crushed with every hit.
I am really wondering right now, have we seen Draw actually land a hook?
He did. That was the one situation that caused the team fight to be a horrible trade for DMT. But you know what? That may be a rarity. Let's see if that happens again.
That may be a rarity. I love that. Look at that DMT right now taking control over the Overlord, understanding that they need to make things happen right now. At least they're gonna have bangers to help them out with the lanes, with the minions, trying to take control over the map, at least if they cannot have control over the gold.
I mean, at this point, it's all about the ultimate from Miggy, right? Until Miggy's ultimate is dropped, the DMT have to be very cautious about the way they take fights here. And once again, Miggy's just getting free slashes over and over again. Ultimate gonna be dropped down. Tremble Mortals once again. Miggy with the flash gets that kill. Tatsuri adds on by taking the T2 at the bottom as well. This is looking like a great fight. Once again, Kao looking for an opening. And no answers from DMT as Boom extend their lead.
It comes in, Miggy with the ultimate comes in with the flash, takes on to Tubbs, slowing down that Byron. Byron tried to flash his way out of it, and Miggy just flashed himself just next to him to send him back to the fountain. Boom Esports in full control of this match at the moment. 8 minutes mark and already 2,000 gold advantage.
This completely silences the lineup of DMT, right? Because until Miggy uses his ultimate or Tatsuri gets the catch, L cannot drop his ultimate. Oh, they will try here though. Can they get the kill? They will finish Kao off, but the price is survival. Can they do it? Miggy jumps in, gets the ultimate, the nice hook bomb from the side of Draw as well. With that, a 2-for-1 trade. Beautiful movement by the side of Boom Esports. But here comes the cavalry from the side of DMT. Unable to find that catch onto Danny as well. The lifesteal is insane. TNX is all alone. He's going to get some help from Joe, but he does not have enough life. He does have his ultimate. It is not going to hit. And he will have to pay the price for his insolence of Boom Esports. Punish them heavily.
Danny over here in the moment that it looked like Boom Esports after Carl dying was going to be bad news for them. Danny decides to turn things around with a double kill in there, he turns the tides around in Boom Esports' favor one more time. They're gonna take this last Tyrant before the 10-minute mark, and Boom Esports, even in the moments where they are caught off guard, they're still able to turn things around. Look at this, like they start like very easily. They take onto Carl, and then after that, they know exactly how to respond.
Yeah, there's no answer, right? When DMT drops their skills, it's a one-time usage. Once it's over and you're alive, then DMT is caught in a very awkward space.
No, exactly, and the problem here is that KNX is just not finding the right timing and the right moment just to come in and to jump and to try to either deal some damage or just to try to participate in the fight. He comes in extremely late and he's unable to take on that 1v3.
Yeah, I mean, and look, this is where Tatsuri already has the venomous staff, right? So TNX will not get that lifesteal that he's looking for. And at the same time, just as a nod, right? As a show of power, display of power, Tatsuri actually waited to use his splash so that TNX cannot get the lifesteal.
Overlord has been defeated.
Who's gonna take this one? It's gonna be the Overlord. Is gonna go for Carl, but KNX is gonna have to take the Tyrant.
Yep, Joe will escape for the time being. Here comes the setup. Nice hook by Draw as well with the Dread. Unable to find the target, which is Tufts, but on the backlines, they have found a kill. 10x finishes the job onto Miggy. Can this be the opening? I don't think so. Carl has other ideas. As the stun comes in from the side of Tufts as well. DMT, they may not have found the answer just now, but this is a great response.
That is exactly why you want to go for this Dark Tyrant, man. Like, because they have the damage buff, they can take on to this big 5v5 fight and they are able to still win it. They come, they take a 2-0 trade, and right now those Vanguards that Carl had worked so hard to get are gonna be all in vain. There's not gonna be any benefit from the Vanguards right now.
I mean, I would think that the value is just much lessened, right? Because end of the day, Boom did lose two very big members, and the Vanguards kind of helped them stall the game for a little bit. Right now, it's about the catches, right? Every time Boom gets a catch, what can they do with it?
Now, Boom just needs to be able to really capitalize on that. We're gonna depend a lot on how Draw can become a little bit more accurate over there with the hooks, because Carl dying already 2 times in here before the 12-minute mark, it is actually trouble. Now, let's talk back to what we said about the BP. As we get to the 14th minute to the 15th minute, Danny and Miggy are going to be indestructible.
That it's a completely different gameplay, right? DMT then has to switch to a macro gameplay. This is where CC is going to provide a lot of value, right? He is a tank shredder. And a turret shredder as well. So DMT needs to play a different game. Here, Tremble Maw is going to be knocked down as well. Can they get the finishing blow? Not enough life on TNX for the time being. He is sustaining. Draw will be taken out, and TNX is still alive for some reason here. And on the backlines, Tufts might have to give his life for the cause here. It's going to be a 1-for-1. Tufts for the life of Draw. But at this point, TNX will be the next to fall. They don't want this fight to end. Boom, they're looking for the opening as well. L goes for the catch, but here comes a damage. Danny with a rampage as well, and DMT are suffering.
It is just too much damage coming in from Boom. In the moment that KNX thought that he could actually run away, Boom Esports dealt the final blow to send him back to the fountain. Now, this is going to be the turret that is going to be the next target, and that turret is going to fall as well. Openings right now to see the crystal.
Has destroyed a tower.
I like this aggression from Boom Esports, right? Now, they have successfully pushed back the members of DMT. They have taken a T3 as well. And this timing, for the next 40 seconds, this is going to be a very critical point for the choice of Boom.
10 minutes and 30 seconds right now. An advantage for Boom Esports, not only on the gold, but an advantage for Boom Esports on the compositions. The compositions right now, even though the Luna might start just falling off a little bit right now, but it's the moment for Tatsuri, it's the moment for Danny, it's the moment for Miggy, for all of their damages to be completely online. So what can Dominator do in order to answer to that damage? Is there something that they can do?
it feels like there's nothing they can do. I mean, the moment
No,
L
of course.
uses his ultimate and nobody on the side of Boom falls, then it's instantly a bad fight for them, right? Miggy, the longer the fight goes, the better for the side of Boom. Hook will not land, and with that, Tremble Mortar is going to be landed down as well. Tufts trying on his own 1v4. Where's the follow-up damage? They're trying to get rid of Miggy. They do get rid of it. The lockdown by L as well is successful. They get the Tyrant and DMT to turning this around. Can they run? The nice stun and knockup by the side of Tufts as well. It's not looking good.
Look at
DMT,
that.
they have found a formula, and they will be successful. Boom, take a fall.
TNX with the triple kill. Congratulations to him. It is crazy. In the moment that we were just doubting if DMT had any answers or any opportunities to actually win this game, it is TNX that stands up with the Ogre and the triple kill.
I like this. This is so back and forth, right? Every single win condition can be turned around. If L drops his ultimate early, it can be cancelled. If Miggy drops his ultimate early, this gives L so much room to make trouble for the side of Boom Esports as well. Now, they're going to try and take this Shadow Overlord. There is a Primal Bond coming in from DMT, so there is 50% less damage dealt to it. Can there be a steal? Not going to happen.
Been defeated.
No, there cannot be a steal. You gotta remember that they've got in here, not only they have TNX, but they have Fang as well, right? So it means that just taking onto the jungle, taking onto the dragons is gonna be so much faster for DMT at the moment.
Right, so we have seen this situation. Boom have played as though they did not lose a T3 in game 1. DMT now, they can do the same.
It's just like the story just keeps repeating itself. But what happens is that everyone starts playing completely different roles in this whole script. The script is the same. What happens is that they just take different roles in every time that we keep enacting it.
Same scenario, different realities for both teams here. All they need to do, it's very simple. DMT, they're looking for the turrets. Every single target sighted. Skill 1 by CC almost guarantees a turret takedown. DMT, they need to capitalize on that.
Let's see, having the Fang right now is going to be such good news over here for DMT because Fang takes turrets down so quickly.
Really is. Now T3 under pressure. Joe's gonna drop his ultimate just as a deterrence. Now the calling here. Let's talk about Boom. If Draw gets a perfect hook, I think that sets that fight for Boom Esports.
Of course, yes. Like as long as Draw can just get onto someone, if he can get into let's say CC, if he can get into Gerald, immediately that opens the complete chain of control that Boom can put in there. You've got such a lethal damage that you have here, but you need to have the initiation, and that is the one thing that right now Boom is missing. Just someone to initiate onto them, so they can actually drop in all of that damage.
I agree. Every initiation from the side of Boom Esports is actually a very high risk one, right? Unless you're talking about Carl. Carl can maybe get out of sticky situations if he's able to reset his ultimate, but everyone else, it's a one-way trip, potentially.
"20 seconds until we see the last Dark Tyrant of the game coming online. We're almost hitting the 18-minute mark. This is going to be the moment where those super minions in there on the Clash lane might be the help that Boom Esports need in order to just kind of like get priority over the Tyrant. Problem is, TNX has his eyes on it and he's going to initiate quickly.
Exactly. At the same timing, this is also why DMT is placing so much pressure on the top lane, right? They want to even out that gash that Boom has, taken a T3 on the top lane. So with that, now Shadow Tyrant in the hands of DMT. This is probably the second last neutral objective before we get the Tempest. Shadow Overlord will spawn in 30 seconds.
30 seconds is going to give priority to Boom Esports to try to go and grab that, right? And if they are able to get on the Vanguards before the Tempest Dragon is going to come out, that could give them an opening. The problem is right now the waves are coming into the high ground and it's too much pressure. Luna needs to really get out of here, and the red team is not gonna allow them to get even eyes on that Overlord.
Yeah, this is gonna be a timing issue here. Boom Esports unable to find that position they're looking for. L will be caught by the Tremble Mortals. Here comes TNX in the middle of 5 members on the side of Boom Esports. The Annihilation is gonna be dropped down as well. Can they find the damage? TNX unable to sustain for too long at this point. Dread gonna be dropped down, but Draw falls first. Not enough damage from the side of Boom as they're looking for the finishing blow. TNX will give his first life, but CC gets rid of Miggy. That is a whole lot of true damage gone. Now, if you take a look at the base as well, they do get the shutdown, but there is a minion wave on the top side for the side of Boom. But DMT, they've gotten an ace, and this will be IKL's story to tell as they finish the game in style. Who cares about the minions? We got your crystal.
Look at that. If one Canyon comes in and it's going to be Dominator Esports, the ones that are going to drop that crystal, take the victory in a 3-2 fashion. Victory goes to Dominator Esports.
Oh, that was super intense. I felt like Boom Esports had it in the bag. They were able to sustain, but then Miggy fell. That was the main difference maker. If Miggy stayed alive in that fight, got the true damage, there was no way DMT would have won that fight.
Oh, I'm telling you, just the way that TNX just turned things around for CC to just finish the dunk, right? Like, just imagine that. It's just TNX with the setup, and CC elevates himself, puts the ball through the rim. Lovely coordination here from Dominator Esports in a composition where we actually thought that as the late game was gonna come, Boom Esports was gonna have it in the pocket. Dominator Esports already with 2 victories. They are really starting 2026 in an amazing fashion.
Yes, this is something that will give you an inkling into many different situations as 2026 goes by. Number 1, we have the IKL battle. Number 2, we have the IKL versus PKL battle. And then now we have the growth of, is it worth it to reorganize the chemistry of your team? And it seems like DMT's answer is yes. Chemistry can be reforged. You can have a stronger team.
I do believe that it was not that big of a statement from Dominator Esports to say like, yes, we are doing so great, or like just to say like, oh, Boom Esports, it's having trouble. I think that it was extremely balanced game. There were very clear mistakes from both teams in specific moments of the games that allowed the opposition to take the victory. So it was more of teams giving mistakes and opening options for their opponents to take the victory more than the creation and the control of the game since minute 1. I do believe that there was a lot of swings in terms of like the gold advantage going into just losing the game. So this is actually 5 very interesting games that people need to go back and really watch so they can analyze it. Because at this moment, after I have finished watching this game number 5, I wouldn't dare to say that Dominator was better than Boom Esports, and I would not dare to say that Boom Esports deserved to take the victory either.
It was just different moments, right? It's the moments that define the legacy of teams, and in that moment I felt like it was just a miscommunication of timing, right? So if Boom Esports had Tatsui set up his matrix right as the Tremble Mortals ultimate by Miggy was dropped down, that fight could have gone a lot more different to the side of Boom Esports.
Yes, exactly.
But the fact that Miggy had to commit his full ultimate and only landed on L as a Liang, that already spoiled that team fight.
Yes, exactly. And that is the problem, right? I do believe like when we were looking at the Boom Esports composition, I personally was like very carried away by the late game damage, by how they were like so balanced. And I actually did not pay much attention at the fact that they were lacking a lot of initiation. Like they were lacking strong initiation that probably in a different hero that might not have been the Quay. I do believe that Boom Esports would have benefited from something different. Maybe that was the moment for Boom Esports just to bring out the Liam Po. I do believe that Liam Po would have been a great opportunity here for Boom Esports to get even a better initiation just for the whole chain CC.
That's true. I mean, Boom Esports, the idea behind the Kui, I think is pretty straightforward, right? You want to be able to get singular pickoffs. But DMT, they understood that. They were standing as a group every single time towards the end of the game. And you can see that conscious choice to make a difference in the way they rotate as a team swung the goal back in their favor.
Such a coming and going, right? Like Dominator Esports takes game 1, then Boom Esports wins 2 in a row, then Dominator Esports wins 2 in a row after. This whole game has just been exactly the same as that gold graph. It goes up and then it goes down and it goes up and then it goes down. There was never a clear advantage from one of the two teams.
That's true. But there is one thing very clear to me, which is, look, both these Clash laners, Miggy and Tubbs, what a growth. Yeah. We've only not seen them for, 2 months? And they're pretty much pulling everyone up in standards as well. This has been a fantastic game to watch between the two of them.
I would say that not only this game, I would say that the whole match, right? All these 5 games that we had today, it was always just Miggy against Tubbs in a very interesting fashion. None of the two of them had a bad game in all these 5, and that just shows you how consistent their performances today were. In this one right over here, we can clearly see how, in terms of the junglers, it was TNX who had a better performance than Carl. I have been very harsh on TNX today, just pointing out the things that he needs to do better. But when he does really well, like what he did right now, we gotta praise him as well. And he was way better than his counterpart in this game.
Of course. You know, I mean, when we first laid eyes on TNX and all the different teams he has been in HOK, his Ogren was something that never left our sights. He is known for his Ogren plays as well. But I also want to celebrate CC. He did really well on the Fang pick, because Fang is essentially a one-moment hero. You don't get the kill, you're dead.
Yes, of course. Yeah. The Fang depends a lot on just the burst damage that it can deal, right? Like, that's the main idea of why you play that Fang. And that's the main idea of why CC is going to be carrying in there that MVP. Fang is one of those heroes that I expect 2026 is going to make a very big comeback. So I hope to see more of the private year. That Fang, which is my favorite hero of all, gives that MVP to CC for 1-9 KDA.
Yes, CC definitely shows you what the benefits of picking a private year or Fang is, right? So in the team fights, if you're able to get that solo pick off with your first skill, that's insane amount of burst onto heroes. But the secondary thing is also that you are a turret taker. So with that, they managed to rush down the base of Boom Esports. And this was a very hard-fought game. Let's be clear about that.
Yes, of course. It is just it's one of those difficult ones, man. Like, because in this moment, like, you see how Boom Esports is having such an advantage, but they're unable just to really just give that final punch. It was just that. How many times did DMT's players just were able to just run away with a little bit of their health bar?
Yeah, the conscious decision here to chase Miggy down instead, really identifying that he was the main problem, because his true damage and his stacked damage was the reason why DMT couldn't find success in the fights, was a really smart choice.
This last fight right over here, just look at that. CC full HP. He knows when to jump in, he knows when to push back. Second ability, jumps in, takes one person out, and then after that he has his eyes on the new one. The new one just goes and dies over there in a brush.
Yeah, we were kind of concerned about the Liang in the early parts of the game, like how much value can he actually put, because there's a lot of disruptions coming in. But when you win the team fights, when there are lesser members on the side of Boom Esports, yep, the Liang will shine.